Shir sponsor Lu Nishmat Sarnak Mishol Now Basitzchok. We're holding in Bava Daf Memches. We're starting in Mem Zayin with base in the 2 dots, 6 lines on the bottom. Says the Gemara. This daf is going to be a bunch of small memers, small nekudus or halachas that come out from the sugyas that we're learning, and not maybe if you're behind and you'll be able to find a shaykhis doesn't seem necessarily that's connected to each other. So let's see. Ibailu, hekad the kibul alei netiruso. When the owner of the chutzner, this goes back, continues the sugya you had before. When the owner of the chutzner has a shmir, he says, I'm going to accept myself shmir. Is he doing shmir then Hashem the kibul alei, or dilma fil netiruso down the kalbi alei? Is he accepting shmir only of himself, that he will not cause any damage, or even if it comes to the world? Says the Gemara, Toshma Tani Yehuda, Rabbi Yehuda Bar Simon ben Nizokin in Bekarno, and the said Nizokin in Bekarno. Chnis Perois of the Chotzer Ba'abai Shalom Rishus. He put the fruits in the Chotzer Ba'abai without permission. Bashorim Mokam Acher Ba'ochlom comes now ashore for somewhere else. That's Potter. If he mechniz b'shus chayav, if his b'shus is chayav. So says the Gemara, man Potter, man chayav. Who's Potter chayav? La potu bal chotzer chayav bal chotzer. Oh, so clearly it says over here, if the bal chotzer has no rishos, he's potter. He didn't accept it himself any shmir. But if he accepted it himself shmira, so he's chayav over the fact that another shor ate the fruits. Says the Gemara, Amri loy, potter bal shor v'chayav bal shor. Talk about a shor. The bal shor, the owner of the shor, if right, you have Reuven's chotzer. Shimon puts fruits in Reuven's chotzer. The shor of Levi eats the fruits of Shimon. The shaila is later at the paranat. So we say if Shimon did not have permission, so Levi does not have to pay. If Shimon had permission to put his fruits in the chotzer, so Levi does have to pay. Now what's the chiluk? So the word explains. What was he care about the rishus of the Baal chotzer? How the rishus have the shem rishus anizak? The Shem Mishus and Izak Chavis. Shalom Mishus have the Shem Mishus Arabim. The Shem Mishus Arabim too. Very simple. If it was Brishus, so then the Shimon is allowed to put the fruits in the courtyard of Reuven. The Reuven is the owner of the Chotzer. So he has Rishus to be, there's considered to be Chotzer Hanizak. But if Shimon is not allowed to put the fruits in the Chotzer of Reuven, so he's putting it in a place that doesn't belong to him. That's not Chotzer Hanizak. Shein directly you chayav only in chotzer hanizak. Same what Toshma Yichnis Shoyer the chotzer ba'abayis shelo b'shus. He puts his axe into the chotzer ba'abayis without permission. Ubashor mimokabachem. Very similar case. But the previous case was fruits. Now we're talking about an axe. Comes the shor mokabachem v'nokloi potter. If he mechniz b'shus chayav. He put it in b'shus, so then he is chayav. Man potter man chayav. La potter ba'al chotzer chayav ba'al chotzer. Same havim in the Gemara. You see over here like this. If the owner of the chotzer, if Shimon put his shor into the chotzer of Reuven, shaloi b'shus, so Reuven is potter. But if he put it b'shus, so Reuven is chayav even for the shor of Levi. Says the Gemara, look, patu ba'al shor v'chayav ba'al shor. Talk about the Levi chayav potter. So what is b'shus lo b'shus? Bishul b'shen v'regel you say is a chotzer hanizak or not. But if it's Karen, we don't have a difference. Says the Gemara, Amri Amani Abtafani, the home Mishun Karen Chotza Nizak, Nezek Sholem Mishal. The Tavan's rule is that when you have a Karen in Chotza Nizak, you pay Nezek Sholem. And when it's in Mishus Arabim, you pay Chatzi Nezek. So you may do what? Birshus, if he has permission, Shimon, to put his shor into the Chotza of Reuven, have the Karen Chotza Nizak, Mishal Nezek Sholem. So it's said to be that Levi went into the chotzer of Shimon and he owes him as a shalom. Shalom, usually he doesn't have permission to put the shor over there. Have a lekem mishus arabim. Shalom is lechatzi nezek. So that's the pshat. So more going to be a raya from fruits from shor. One says no, that may be that the one who's chayav potter is not Baal ha chotzer, it's Baal ha shor. So we don't know the Baal ha chotzer is chayav or nezek from a different place. Okay, now we're going into the sugyas that we mentioned that we said the Gemara was going to speak about. So there was this woman Also the Meifa Ba'u Beso. She went to bake, in Purim, bake in that house. Those days, there were houses that had ovens. And people used to come and pay a fee to use the public oven, to use that place where they could bake. So she came to our house, someone to bake. Comes the goat of the owner of the house. Ochlo Lilisho eats the dough. Chovil Demis, and the goat got sick because of eating the dough and died from eating the dough. So Rava obligated the woman to pay for the goat. We just learned in the previous daf. The Rav's svara was, you have a svara of Havil Shel Teichel. Don't eat. Who asked you to eat? If you eat, it is your fault. Havil Shel Teichel. So here also, why did the goat eat the dough?
It's more like that. Dough eats.
What?
It's more like that. Dough eats.
Doesn't matter, but the time of Rav is, I'm not responsible for what you're doing. I'm responsible not to cause you nezek. If you're doing it to yourself, you're responsible.
Why is she chayav?
So, more asked, why is she chayav? Also, shloi b'shus lo kibel alein tirusa. How come b'shus kibel alein tirusa? So there's a difference. There, we're talking about shloi b'shus, and the person goes into the chodesh shloi b'shus. Say if you cause the nezek is chayav. What are you doing here? If you did not cause the nezek, if the animal ate is not chayav, I'm not responsible to guard your animal because we never had an agreement. I went shloi b'shus. But here, if I'm allowing you, tell the Isha, I'm allowing you to bring your dough into the chutzner, into the house, you have to be responsible that animals will not get hurt. Says what about the case we had yesterday? Yesterday we had a case that a woman took wheat to grind in chutzner ba'abais, shaloi b'shus, and the animal ate it. Potter. And if she got hurt, the animal, so the woman is chayav. Time is shalom b'shus, not because it was b'shus. Ha b'shus patur, mash b'shus it was patur. So why there you're saying that the woman is not responsible for the fact that the animal ate the wheat, and here she is responsible for the fact that the woman ate the dough? I'm really tchoin chitim, kevan de loy baitz lius sobidi loy bay mesalki marvosa de chotzer nafshehu. So more, in the case of wheat, the owner of the chotah should stay there. Why is he leaving? There's no problem with tznius. He can stay there. He should guard his goat. He should guard his animals. She goes in with permission. She's careful. She's not going to cause any nezek. Comes an animal, eats. I'm not responsible for the animals. I don't take responsibility for your animals. You take responsibility for the animals. When you're baking, not grinding. When they bake, they used to reveal their hands. As Rashi says, she's showing, she reveals her hands. In order to bake, they would reveal the hands. So it's not tznius bake. It's the bai tznius. It's the tznius. So the owner of the chotzer leaves. She's responsible. So here comes the Nekutas Chiluk. In a case that the owner of the chotzer may stay in the chotzer, so the Isha says, I'm not, you let me come in, I'm not responsible for anything. But if, by fact that the woman comes here, she causes the owner of the chotzer to leave, why? Because of tznius. She is revealing her arms. That's what you have to do for the baking. So every time this owner of the chutzner allows women to bake in his chutzner, he leaves the place. So if you're leaving the place, you need to make sure that you're taking care of the animals. So the Gemara really says this responsibility on the animal depends on the case if the owner is there or not. In the svaro, the Havil Shel Teichel that we said in previous Amud is only in the case that I don't have responsibility. You have a responsibility, you have to make sure that the animal doesn't eat. So you see that Havil Shel Teichel is limited. Says the Gemara, person goes, puts his axe into the chotzer ba'abais. That was what we learned before. Says the Gemara, he puts the shor in chotzer ba'abais without permission. the shor digs holes in the chutzner. Baal Shor Chai B'Nizkei Chutzner. The Baal Shor is responsible to pay for the damage, for the pits that the shor caused. Baal Chutzer Chai B'Nizkei Bar. The owner of the chutzner is responsible for the bar. Why? Someone explains. Usually we have a rule that if an animal goes in Rishus Harabim and she digs a hole, you're not responsible. Because you're responsible only for boiris that you're doing, not for boiris that your shor is doing. Here, so Rashi explains, this is the chutzner of the owner. He needs to fill up the pit. He owns the board. I don't know anything. My animal did it. It's nothing to do with me. Meaning I don't own it. The Torah says, Ish bor v'lo shor bor. It's not me. But in my chutzner, it is me. I own it. So I have to fill it up. So therefore he's responsible for any nezek. So the owner of the shor needs to pay the owner of the chutzner for the fact that he created a bor. So he gets paid for that. But now he has to make sure that the bor is filled up. That's what he says. Now, Tais says, what?
If he didn't pay him for it,
He needs to pay for it. That's how. The halacha is he needs to pay and he's responsible.
so the responsibility then not to the owner of the property.
I think yes, in any case. In other words, the owner of the shor needs to pay. He not pay, so go to pay, so get the money. In other words, he has a debt. The debt is you have to pay the money. You don't want to pay, so we'll have to fine you. We'll have to find a way to force him. But it's nothing to do with the actual. Right now, he's the owner of the work. The Tosfos has a question. He's not sure. What about if you have an Adam? What happens if a human being created the board in the chutzner of let's say Reuben went to Shimon's chutzner, dig their board. Shimon says, what are you doing? Takes to the basin. You dig the board in the chutzner of Reuben. You have to pay him to fix it. How much it costs to fix? $1,000, $1,000. Now, someone falls in that board. Who's responsible? Reuben or Shimon? By the shore, we said Reuben, the owner of the chutzner, is responsible. But if it's an Adam, do we say Adam Mazik is different now? This is not sure. He puts his shore into the chutzner of Abayis without permission. V'hizik is Ba'abais, and he damages the Ba'abais. Or Ba'abais who's a boy. Or the Ba'abais got damaged by him. You know? In other words, not because he came after him, but the Ba'abais just, let's say, was running and hit it. Chayav, who's Chayav? The owner of the shore. What are you putting the shore over here? Right, Shlomo shoots. Rovat's Potter. What is Rovat's Potter? One thinks, as Rashi says, that we're talking about that he sat down. Rovat's means to sit down for the animal. How do you say that in English? Is there a word for English to say that an animal sits?
Yeah.
Drop down. So he probably more understands if he dropped down and broke something when he dropped down. So says the Gemara, Mishud the Rovat's Potter. Why should he be Potter? What about my Rovat? She here beats the Lolim for Nitvu Kelo Shabbat. Rovat's here doesn't mean that he sat down. It means here beats Glol. It means he created feces. He made. And that Glolim damaged the Kalim Babis. How the Glolim bore, the Glolim, the feces are a bore. Bor is not Chav Kalim. So he caused damage to Kalim Yapat. So why the Shmuel called the Kol a bor? That's good according to Shmuel, the whole every Takala is a bor. And the Rav, the Omet, the Mafkele, and Michael, according to Rav, only if it's ownerless a bor. That's not a bor. Says the more Amistam Glolim of Kur Mafkele. Yeah, usually feces people don't keep. They make it after. Says the Gemara. Rashi points out, just an important thing to say over here, that the Kalim is potter, but if the Adam got hurt, Adam got damaged in the feces, so then it's chayav. Why is it chayav? Even though the bor was created by the shore, because in any case he's responsible for the creation of the shore, because it was his when it fell off, so that's why he's responsible. Says the Gemara, but just to mention, Tais argues, Tais holds, the ones we said they were mafkirit, you're not chayav even on Adam, not only on Kalim. Because the feces is not his anymore, so it's created by the shore. Okay. Says the one one went to Chotz Ba'abayis without permission, the Yizik is Ba'abayis, and he damaged Ba'abayis. Or Ba'abayis was like a boy, Chayav. So he's Chayav to pay. Hiziku Ba'abayis, Potter. If the Ba'abayis damaged him, he's Potter. Ma Papa, Lo Yamaron, El Lo Yavi Yoda Bey. But if he knows him, he's Hiziku Ba'abayis, Chayav. In other words, if he didn't know that he was there, and the owner of the chutzner damaged the shore by mistake, so then he is potter. But if he knows the shore is there and he damaged the needs, he did it on purpose, he's chayav. Why? My time you're right, you can take me out. But you can't hurt me. You have no permission to hurt me. So if you're hurting the shore, you're chayav. Says the Gemara, V'azat Tamayu. Tomaro v'timo Rapapa v'chesed v'beis shneim b'shus or shneim shalom b'shus. Meaning, if the two people that are damaging each other, they're both in a place they both can be, in the Rishus Harabim or in the Rishus of Hashutfim, or in the place where they both cannot be. Anybody who's damaging is chayav, because hiziku means you went and you did damage. Be'adayim. Be'adayim you chayav. Why? But because it's Aldo Amazik chayav. Who's kuzeh b'zeh? If it wasn't be'adayim, just what happened was they got stuck in each other, right? If it wasn't hiziku be'adayim, so p'turim. Not because they both have either permission to be there and their own permission. One is Rishus, one is not. Rishus Potter, Rishus Chayav. So the one who's Rishus to be there is Potter, the other one is Chayav. That's the case over here. The Bava is allowed to be here, the other one is not allowed. That's the Bava is Potter, unless he did it by Adam. Rashi says that that it's only but the law yodale. If he didn't know he was there, but if he was there, no, it's the rayas for the first part. That we said that if he's mazik, him is potter. It says in Rava, so we learned the Mishnah. So if the shore goes to the chotzer ba'abayis l'rishus, and he falls into the pit of the ba'abayis, and he causes the water to be damaged, he's probably has to pay for it. It says the Gemara, the shore shehivish b'shas tefillah. After he made the water damage as he fell. After not going to feel butter, right? Because once the shore fell, then it causes damage. He's butter. Why? By the time you have a shore board, the shore becomes a board, meaning he is a damager. Umayim kelim, the water is vessel, right? It's not an animal. So the shore is not chayav in the fact that he caused damage to the water. So according to Shmuel, everything is a board. This is a board too. Remember here, you have a shore. He's not mafkir. He's the owner of the shore. So why is it a board? If you have to learn the father. The water got damaged because of the body of the shore. Meaning, what does it mean? He was dirty. Rashi says he was dirty. So the shore was dirty. It fell into the water, and he made the water filthy. You can't eat it anymore. But if, by the fact that the shore died, the nevelo, is it nevelo in English here? Carcass causes the water to stink. So then he potter. By the time we're going to it's a groma. The grass smell, it's not bad. Dirt, he falls, it makes it dirty. Smell, the animal dies, it causes smell, so you potter. Now the Mishnah going on and says that if the shore goes to the chotzer ba'abayis, it falls into the pit of ba'abayis, and in the pit there was the father of the son of ba'abayis, and he killed the father's son. So Mishalim Sakriv you have to pay. That's a Ayavi the father, the son are in there. Mishalim is Sakriv you have to pay kreif. The same way Maya Tamu, it's Tam, short Tam doesn't pay kreif. Unshor Muad. Marav Muad Lipol B'Yodam B'Boris is he does fall on people B'Boris. It's not the first time. So the Gemara Yachi Bar Katlu. What do you mean? If he's falling Boris, so he should be killed. He's doing it purposely. He didn't fall purposely on Riyadam. He saw vegetables and he went to the vegetable and fell on Riyadam. He did 3 times. So, why? Because Rashi learns in this case, you still need 3 times to have kofer. And the Rishonim explain in Rashi why. Rashi learns the great zealous cause of kofer, you're not chayav until you have 3 times. I don't care if it's normal to do it or not. You're not chayav kofer until you did 3 times. Tosis argues. Tosis learns that he's chayav if he did it without a shinui. It's chayav even the first time. So we saw also the Daled regarding the mischak of the kois aladosoi when he rubbed himself against the kois. Similar to that. What? Grama Yapatul Grama. Garmi is a machlekes, but Grama everybody agrees. Grama and Garmi are different. Most of you learn the Grama and Garmi are different. We'll get to that later. So, okay, so today's story that he was Beshina. It wasn't normal. So Shmuel basically the Omar Tam Shmuel says no. No, be kofer is a tam. We're talking to the basically that a tam does pay half a kofer. Ulama basically the Omar Kab Tam for it's a basic lily, and he also got tam the Omar Karen b'chatzar nizak nezik shalom mishalim. When you have Karen in the chatzar of the there, if he goes into a chatzar, you pay nezik shalom. Hachinami kofer shalom mishalim. It was more nichel to say he pays full kofer because the Mishnah didn't say chatzar kofer. It says kofer. It says kofer shalom. That's his father, son, because that's what they made to be. What are they doing here? It's the father, the son, the owner. But according to Shmuel, they just got used to. According to Shmuel, we're talking about so according to Ula, this has to be Chotzer and Isaac. Not a person doesn't belong here. So it says the father or the son, because they belong here. But according to Shmuel, you pay Chatzikofer regardless. So I feel you're right. I don't have to say father son. The reason we said father son is because usually who's in the bar of the owner is Mishpach. It says more if the Balachotz allowed to come in, so then he's Chayav. In the Rav, all my Yichasik, the Kam Shmuel Yichasik Rebbe. So we learned in the Mishnah Machlekes to the Kam and Rebbe. To what extent does the Balachotz take responsibility? Rabbanan said the minute he said come in, it means I'm responsible for it. Rabbi said only if he said clearly, I'm accepting myself shmir. So Machlekes is all that come with Kishma. So what Rabbanan Knoi Shokha v'Shamoi Izik Chayav Uzik Potter. He says, bring in your shore, but you guard it. So if he says Izik Chayav, Uzik Potter, why? He said. I'm not responsible. Says, I'm going to guard it. Who's the chayav? If he got damaged by the chutzner, the owner of the chutzner is chayav because he took responsibility. He's ikbatu. Why? Because he said, I'm responsible, the owner of the chutzner. We have a steer over here between the ratio and the safe. You said if you bring it in, you will guard it. So then he's chayav, who's ikbatu, he's responsible for hezek and not for it become damaged. Time of shomer, that's because he told him you guard it. Chayav Balashur Upotu Balachotz. No, in that case, the Balashur is Chayav Balachotz is Potu. Hastamo Mashma. If there wasn't any specific instructions, Chayav Balachotz Upotu Balashur. Then Mistoma, you say he is Chayav. Then Mistoma Kabbalah and Yerusa, like Rabban in the Mishnah. If he told him to come in, he's probably guarding. Aim a safe. Look at the end of the Mishnah of the Brayso. Knoi Shochav Ani Shmeinu. Put your short. I will guard it. Who's the Chayav who got damaged? Chayav. Easy Potu. Time because he says I'm going to guard it like Rebbe. Then he's chayav. Stoma. If you didn't say anything, chayav b'ashor but the balachotzer. Then you stoma like Kibbel and Diruso like Rebbe. Also the Rebbe had the all match for Kibbel and Diruso by his ishmer. So what is more bothered? Ratio Rabbanan say for Rebbe. The ratio is mashma. This is because he told him you guard, so the owner of the shore has to guard. But if he didn't say anything, so the owner of the chutz is guarding. The Sefer says, the owner of the chutz says, I will guard, so then he has to guard. But if he didn't say anything, the owner of the shore has to guard. So it's a steer between the Reish and the Sefer. You have to break it. The first part of the Mishnah, of the Brayso, is Shitas Rabbana. The second part is Rebbe. Rava, my cooler Rabbana, it's our Rabbana. I did the Nasi Reisha, Shomer, Tanasei, Vani Yishmer. No, it's Rabbanan. The Rabbanan say that if you say you guard it, you have to guard it. If not, I'm guarding it. How it says in the same of Ani Shmerenu is because it says beginning of Shmur, Ani Shmerenu. But really, he doesn't have to say the words Ani Shmerenu, just by not saying anything, he's already responsible to guard it. My Papa says, Kula Rebbe. It's all Rebbe. Someone look at a time and Doma, Karen Mechatza, Anizak, Nezik, Shom, Mishal. So it's all Rebbe that who has to guard? Who has to guard is the owner of the shore, unless he says specifically, I will guard. But he also gave a time from the Mechatza and Nizak, you pay Nezik, Shom. Therefore what? Hikach Omalei Shomroi told him, you guard. He's not giving him a place in his chutzner. He's basically saying you can come in if you want to, but I'm not giving you. I'm not responsible for it. You're responsible. I'm not really giving you a place in the chutzner. Chot Karen b'chotzer anizak. Karen b'chotzer anizak mishar nezek shalom. So he told him, Shomroi, you're responsible. So he's not giving him a part in the chutzner, and therefore the Karen b'chotzer anizak, meaning if his shor if the shor, Reuben told Shimon, you can come in, but you have to guard. Shimon is still considered to be an outsider. So Shimon is goring the shor of Reuben. It's considered to be the Shimon went to the chutzner of Reuben. Lo Yamel Shomer didn't tell him you'll guard it. Aknuya lemoka b'chutzner. So then he's giving him a key in the chutzner. Ve'av lechutzner shutfim. Can lechutzner shutfim no mishlam lechatzines. So then it's considered to be his chutzner as well. I pay all chatzines. Meaning, not everything. Rabbi agrees that the owner of the chutzner is not responsible to guard the shore unless he says clearly, "I'm going to guard it." That's what he says. So what is the diuk over here? The diuk over here, according to Rabbi, is in both cases. That's what I was saying. According to this, really the Baal shore needs to pay because the Baal chutzner did not accept the responsibility on the shore. So what's the difference between the Reish and the Sefer? The difference between the Reish and the Sefer is how much does he have to pay? Chatzin Nezek Nezek Shalom. If he's concerned to him, he says, you will guard it, tell him very clearly, you are responsible, I'm not letting you really to come in here. You can come in, but you're really an outsider. So you're an outsider, it's as if you went to Chotzanis, you have to pay Nezek Shalom. But if he says, no, I will guard it, which means we are like partners, so then it's like I said, because you pay only Chatzin Nezek. As Rashi says, Kula Rebbe, look at Rashi, last Rashi before the Mishnah. The Sefer Dafka, the end is Dafka. That's what it says in the Sefer. The Sefer says, he says the words Anish Ren. For Rachel, do you think we know a stoma who's a chayav? Not for stoma, you chayav. No. Tevadai stoma nami is a chayav who's a potter. Tevadai the nok of the shomer lechiyuvin is a ksholin kama. Im who's a ksholin shabachot a stoma chatzes. I mean, maybe more clear. The end of the brisa says, you go into the shore, v'ani yishmerenu. So then, the owner of the chutzner is responsible for everything. The owner of the shore is butter. Because Rabbi says, everybody agrees. If he says clearly, I will guard it, it means I'm responsible. But what happens if he didn't say I'll guard it? So then there's two cases. If he didn't say a thing, the owner of the shore is responsible to pay, but only Chatzir. If he said, you will guard it, so the owner of the shore is responsible to pay, Nezek Shalom. That's what the Gemara says. Therefore, Omer Shomer, he says the word Shomer, Lo Akre Mokam Chatz, is not really giving a place in the Chatzar. They have the Kem Chatzar Nizak. It's said to be the roof that Shimon went to the Chatzar roof in Kem Chatzar Nizak Meshav Nezek Shalom. Lo, Omer Shomer didn't say a word. Akuy Akre Mokam Chatz, give a place in the Chatzar. Have the Chatzar shooting, Kem Chatzar shooting, and no Shem Chatzar Nezek. So, comes out according to Rebbe, you have three cases over here. There's one extreme is that he says, Shomer, you guard it. That case is considered to be that he's not really coming into the chutzner, not fully, at least, and therefore he has to pay Nezek Shalom. Then there is the middle case. He didn't say a word. The owner of the shore still has to pay, the Libra the Rebbe, because the owner of the chutzner does not accept responsibility, but he has to be only Chatzir Nezek, because the fact that I'm willing to come in, I'm making you like a partner. If the owner of the chutzner says, Ani Yishmerenu, I will guard it, so then the owner of the chutzner is responsible, and the owner of the shore is not responsible at all. The Seder Gomer Rabbi Isai, we will stop over here. Be'ez Hashem, I'll be in Eretz Yisrael. Sure, will still be posted online, and anybody wants to join, I'll send you the links. and we'll see each other live. Be'ezer Hashem, end of next week.